Good morning, a good evening, and good afternoon. This is Nathaniel Campbellson Productions here today, and welcome to Project Lorbarrow. So, yeah, I know I was supposed to do a little building video about this layout, but yeah, all that footage went corrupt, so I'm afraid you won't be seeing that. But what I can do is very quickly just run over the construction of the layout with you, because it's a little bit different to that of a conventional layout. So I'll show you that, and then I'll show you around the top of the layout in a bit more detail. Okay, so here we are, as you can see, underneath the layout. There's the control panel and the temporary controller. And if we move underneath, you may be able to see, centre of shot, 2 bolts. There's 2 there, 2 on that side, and 2 there. And this enables the layout to actually break down into 3 large chunks. You can see there is one join going all the way across to the back there, and here is another one running along the centre. So that's 3 large sections of 2 by 4. And if we jump back to the top of the layout, you can see one of the baseboard joins running across all the way to the back over there, and then here is the other one just here, which runs across the middle and ends up over here. You can see it just here. So that enables the layout to be portable, and that means that I'll be able to take this layout with me when I leave this current living situation. So while I'm up and around, a quick tour. Here we've got the station. As you can see, we've got the 6400 pannier tank posing with the auto trailer. I've already got, as you can see, platform edging strips in place on one side, and I've started work doing the support superstructure for the platforms. I'm yet to build them. I don't quite know how big I want them to be. I've put the end of the platform here, so there will be a ramp going down to about here somewhere, roughly where this track spike is. And then I imagine the platform will extend out to about here. Not entirely sure yet. I'm still debating on that. And then this track here is a platform avoiding line, because of course this is, as we follow it around, a circular layout, 6 foot by 4, the traditional layout size in the UK. So that means that I can have this train in the platform, have another one running round. For example, the Derby lightweight over there can run round while this one's in the platform. Then the lightweight unit can run round and stop in this loop here for reversing back into that siding over there, and then the auto trailer can run round as well. And the same sort of principle goes for everything that's here on the stock table. Just close my underwear drawer. As you can see, I've got the S15, I've got the whole class, the N class, Ivot class 4, Mogul, 2251, Hymek, Prairie, Ivot class 3 MT, 5600, class 08, Triang AF, an Austerity, a filthy A1X Terrier, and of course an A4 and an A3, Mallard and Flying Scotsman. So taking a peek over at the side of the layout where the most scenic work has been done, as you can see, we have a little bridge here. If I just take this great big pot of glue out the way, you can see that we will have a waterfall. We will eventually have a waterfall running down here underneath the railway line here, and I'm not quite sure if I want to curve it a little way along here. I've left a gap here, so if I wanted to dam this front edge off and make a little bit of a stream thing to run across. I'm not quite decided just yet, but over here we've got the start of a road bridge and a road which winds its way down to the car park where this great big pot of glue is sat. This here I plan to make some sort of rock face, probably with polyfiller. You can see an empty pot of it there. As for the rest of the layout, I'm not entirely sure just yet. This is the only bit, if we fly up a little bit, this is the only bit of the layout, as you can see. The only bit of the layout with any scenery on it. And as you can see from the glue, it's still drying. I mentioned before that the construction of this layout was different to the other one, which is true, not just with the baseboard work, but with also the track bed. You can see the track is actually raised up 2 inches above baseboard level. These are the Woodland Scenics foam risers, the 2-inch variety. They are 2 feet long, 2.5 inches wide by 2 inches tall, which is perfect, as you can see, for making a track bed. In fact, if we get in here, you can see there's one edge of the track bed, just here where my finger is here, and the other edge is here. Now I did that for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is point motors, as you can see. They are mounted directly underneath the points. This camera for some reason has absolutely no focusing capability whatsoever, so I'm afraid you'll have to just take my word for it. If I pull the switch, you can see that both of these points here, if I get the camera in the right place, yeah, somewhere there, both of these points throw at the same time. So yes, that was reason 1, because I didn't fancy drilling holes underneath the track beds, through the board rather, because the pins wouldn't reach up through this, and because I wanted the railway to have a bit of height above the rest of the layout. So scenes like this are a bit more realistic, with a proper little embankment going on from ground level up to track height. That's something I hadn't done before. If we have a quick peek over at one of my other layouts here, you can see, still work in progress. This is Summersby Orchards. This is my 009 little narrow gauge layout. As you can see, the track is at completely flat ground level, and whether we'll be able to or not, the point motors, there's one, are mounted directly to the bottom of the polystyrene, and then the pin pushed up through the point. That's fine because the track is at ground level, whereas on Lorbarrow here the track is raised up, and the drive pins of point motors would not be long enough to get through 2 inches of foam riser, the baseboards, and come through the top of the tie bar enough for it to work. So you can see I've also used foam riser for the road as well. These are very versatile, good for making beds for roads, footpaths, railway lines, anything really that needs to wiggle and twist. You can see over there where the little Derby lightweight unit is sat. The construction with them is quite simple really, and then I just, once they were glued down in place, I layered plaster cloth over the top of them. You can see that easier here. And then on top of that, the track was glued with contact adhesive. I didn't actually use this in the end. I was going to, but it's quite runny, so in the end I used up my last supply of Yoo-hoo. Then over the top of that, it was painted, as you can see here. And then once painted, ballast was thrown down on top, let to dry, and then the basic grasswork was carried out. Now I will be covering basic ground cover in a separate video entirely when I eventually get round to doing the rest of the layout. That is what I will be showing you. So that was a quick look at Project Lorbarrow. A slightly longer video hopefully will be coming up in the future. That was just a quick look at it. I'm sorry for the terrible sound quality and shakiness of the camera. I've got a camera stand, but it's a bit too big and bulky to use, because if I show you, there's not much room in my room at the moment. So I'm kind of just holding the camera freehand. So thank you very much for watching. Feel free to like, comment and subscribe for more content, and I will see you later.